We just talked about some NFL preseason, but we're going to continue to do it because we have some Monday night football. And it's going to be an interesting one because we got the Jaguars, who have apparently a quarterback battle between Trevor Lawrence and Gardner Minshew. And we have the Saints, who have a quarterback battle between Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. If it's up to me, though, Brett, neither of these teams should be having a quarterback battle, and it should be Trevor Lawrence versus Jameis Winston as the starting quarterbacks. Which means that since it's the preseason, maybe we should actually have Taysom Hill versus Gardner Minshew in this game.
Well, I guess my first thing is I think it's fine that New Orleans is having the battle because you paid Taysom Hill to be your starting quarterback, and then if a past number one overall pick comes onto the market, he has a year to sit and learn in your system and hopefully get rid of some of his bad traits sitting behind a Hall of Famer. So you hope he picked up a few things, but Jacksonville, you're right. To be honest, I don't really think it's a quarterback battle, Higgins. What my read on the situation, and I don't know, I could be way off on this, right? But my read on the situation is they just want this out there as kind of like a smoke screen almost to just be like, oh, we don't know who our starting and we're just never going to say it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. So week 1, you have to prepare for both quarterbacks. The truth
It could be. I think it might be more about trade bait.
Maybe it's about trade bait. I think it's a smokescreen. The truth is, I think Trevor Lawrence would benefit from getting all the reps, right? Like, I think that would be a benefit to him. But I don't think it's a true quote unquote quarterback battle, right? Like, I think it's Trevor Lawrence. Like, I don't think Urban Meyer was like, let me come out of retirement to coach Gardner.
So I drive around and I listen to some sports radio in my car when I drive around. I don't like the radio overall, but Colin Cowherd comes on my car and there's this promo that they run constantly that's him talking about the Jimmy Garoppolo Trey Lance quarterback battle that's going on, and his opinion of that is maybe they're trying to boost Jimmy Garoppolo's trade bait as well. I kind of look at it very similar with Jacksonville in the sense of Gardner could very well be forgotten in all this quarterback movement that's been going on here, and Jacksonville would like to get something for him at least. I agree he's not going to be the starting quarterback at all in the regular season for Jacksonville. At least he shouldn't be, in my opinion. But they need to get something for him, and I think they are going to try to move on for him and give him another opportunity somewhere else. So it'll be interesting to see what that's like, though, or where that is. Let's take a look at these lines, though, Brett, because the Saints are going to be favored by 4 points in this game. And because of this quarterback battle that we're talking about, I think that might be right, because we might actually see the Saints have more meaningful quarterbacks in their game for longer.
Yeah, I mean, I could see, Gardner Minshew starting for the Jaguars and then Trevor Lawrence potentially getting 2 quarters, so he gets to experience what it's like to come out of halftime. But yeah, I don't know that they'll do that for sure. I think the Saints definitely want to figure out who their week 1 starter is going to be if they don't know already. So I could see both their quarterbacks playing pretty deep into this game, and then maybe Ian Book coming in halfway through the third or the fourth quarter. Maybe it'll be the guy who was with the Jets and the Broncos. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Trevor Simeon.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, I knew his teams. I couldn't think of his name. Poor guy. But yeah, I think, you're right. These quarterbacks could play deep into this one because the Saints probably, to your point, are in a real quarterback battle. And then I think Higgins, and again, maybe I'm crazy, but I think it is important to have a rookie experience coming out of halftime, probably before week 1. Like, you probably want that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would understand that as well. So I'm actually going to be making a play or making a bet on this game. The over-under is set at 39.5. And I'm still going to be taking that under despite what we've said about these quarterback battles and the potential for these quarterbacks to be left in for longer. I mean, I we've taken a look at these NFL preseason over-unders, and like we've talked about in previous episodes, the over-under or the unders when the number's set at 37 or higher in the NFL preseason, it has a 60% hit rate. That was going into this week. This week there were a few more overs that hit than in week 1, but I'm still going to run with the under this in this game. 39.5. It might get up to 40, but I'm not going to bank on that for Monday, so I'm going to take it at 39.5.
Yeah, I this was a stay away for me. I thought the number looked high, Higgins, like you. I stayed away though because I didn't know what the quarterback situation was gonna be. And again, if I'm an idiot, so be it. But I think you want Trevor Lawrence to come in with the two scripted drives, the one scripted drive after halftime, and at least play those. So, you give him one, two drives in the second half, maybe it's an extra touchdown. And, sometimes that's what kills these over unders, right?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that there's 4 quarterbacks battling for a starting spot in this game could make this over under at extreme risk. I'm not going to hide that fact at all, but I think it's going to leave reason to leave some defensive players in there maybe a little bit longer and stuff like that. And we also don't know the extent of these playbooks that are going to be shown or if they're just going to go through the motions and try to get some confidence builders with some basic plays and basic formations and things like that. It'll be interesting. I'll be very intrigued to see how it goes. Brett, before we get out of here, though, I mean, as we take a look and head into the NFL and college football season, there's plenty of futures that are kind of in play right now. I've formalized my NFL single season passing yards record last episode. I'm going to start taking a look at some of these win total over-unders, I think. That's what I'm going to start looking at this week, and I might, next episode or the episode after, I might have a play or two for those as we head into the regular season.
Yeah, I found a fun one too, Higgins. It's the exact finishing position in your division. And I didn't want to bring it up, but since we're doing this, the New York Giants one has kind of stood out to me. I have not placed a bet on it, but it's definitely caught my eye. I think with all due respect, Higgins, maybe you want to cover your ears for this segment. I don't know. But everything out of Giants camp has been pretty bad, except maybe every once in a while we get a positive note that, like, hey, Saquon Barkley, it's not all bad. He was at practice today. um, so we still don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1 or not, but we think he will be. We think Daniel Jones will improve. We think, the team will improve with Kenny Galladay. But I just don't know, Higgins. It sounds like training camp has been hell. 3 New York Giants players have retired during camp. Like, they literally decided, Higgins, I'd rather go home than get this. I don't know what an average NFL contract is, but let's call it $1 million. I'd rather go home than get this mill. So the Giants to finish 4th in the division at plus 185, that feels good to me, but I haven't bet it yet because I don't really like betting on teams to do bad. Like, that's not fun. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, let me take all my money and bet on the New York Giants to lose every game.
Hey, I don't disagree with a single thing you said about the Giants there. My only word of caution is that the entire NFC East I expect to be bad like last year. So the Giants to finish dead last in the division may be a tougher sell than is initially pictured, just because that division was a shit show last year, and I'm not expecting much better this year. I think personally it's going to be a fight between the Giants and the Eagles at the bottom of the division. Who knows though? I mean, injuries could happen. The Cowboys could just be the Cowboys again and just not play well at all. Their defense was dead last year, so who knows? The NFC East, it's too sloppy for me to take a look there. But I do like those plays, and I might find an exact order type play as well. I might look at something like the NFC West where things are also going to be so close that there could be some great value because there's bigger risk in these divisions where things are going to be so close, whether for good reasons or bad reasons. But because of how close things are going to be, there's going to be some excellent value because of the opportunity all of these combinations actually have. So it'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting. But